A young boy and his mother were out picking berries on their farm near Gallipolis, Ohio, sometime in 1912, when all of a sudden their day was interrupted by a strange cloud hovering ominously overhead. This bizarre cloud even followed them as they continued on their way into the nearby woods. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am just another tinfoil hat. Welcome to my show. Today, we are going to be discussing the short yet fascinating case of the Cloudy Creep. Sometime in 1912, about 10 miles away from Gallipolis, Ohio, a young boy who, across every account of this encounter, is referenced only as J.M., and his mother were picking berries on their farm when suddenly the day was interrupted by this dark cloud that suddenly appeared and began hovering above them, actually, like kind of following, shadowing, perhaps, their movements, even continuing as they made their way through to some nearby woods. The boy's mother got ahead of him by about 50 yards, and it was at this point that the young boy noticed the thing. He described this thing as a large, dark, hair-covered creature, standing behind a small furrow in the earth and walking parallel to him at his right. The witness claimed that it had a bulky head, no neck, and he couldn't remember seeing the arms. Interestingly enough, the beast was behind this furrow in the land, so he didn't get any sort of good look at the legs or feet. More on that in a minute. When his mother turned and saw this bizarre creature, she immediately screamed at him to get the heck out of there. The creature walked a little to the left, stopped, and turned to look directly at the witness, eventually making a growling or barking type noise. Now, at this point, the mother and son made their way very quickly until they were about 100 yards away from where this bizarre encounter had taken place, and when they turned back to look, both the bizarre beast and the creepy cloud were absolutely gone. So yet again, we have another encounter with the anomalous spurred on by people picking berries. I mean, this is just straight out of folklore, especially the fairy faith. However, this case also really reminds me of another encounter, the Nottingham anomaly, in which three teens witnessed this nebulous mist, which eventually, for two of them, morphed into a bizarre Sasquatch-like being. The third insisted that even though he was the closest one to the anomaly, he simply saw the mist. Here, of course, we have this cloud at the beginning of the encounter following the mother and son, which is also then mirrored by the creature walking parallel to the sun. Interestingly enough, as well in the Nottingham case, the creature didn't have actual legs or feet. Instead, it had this kind of cartoonish ghost tail. And here, although you might say that the feet or legs were obscured by this furrow in the earth, in my opinion, the concept is kind of the same. You can't see them. I happen to wonder if this is almost kind of a direct reference to the concept that this being is not of this plane of existence, i.e. its feet literally don't touch the ground. Now, too, another really great aspect of this case is this concept of anomalies literally following or mirroring people, keeping pace with them. And that's something I've noticed across every branch of the paranormal. Accounts of Bigfoot, ghosts, UFOs, matching the speed of the witness pop up constantly. The first time I'd actually heard of this aspect was in the folktale of the Ridgeway Phantom, a local legend from southwestern Wisconsin, which I grew up hearing, of a shape-shifting ghost that once kept pace with a man. Now, although this is pretty firmly in the firmament of folklore, I think that this patterning really can't be ignored across these encounters and points to the concept that encounters with anomalies follow certain tropes or scripts almost. And I think also, too, this concept again of something keeping pace with the witness, it shows a certain dependence on the witness for the phenomena to occur at all. Yet again, there's this amazing now you see it, now you don't aspect to this encounter. As soon as the witness moves to effectively end the encounter, the troublesome entity or object is just simply gone. In this case, both the cloud and the Bigfoot just vanished. Now, in my opinion, this points not only to the concept that both, players, we might say in this encounter, the cloud and the beast, act synchronously, but also that they seem not to be bound by the typical laws of physics as we understand them, and the fact that they are simply, again, here one moment and then gone the next. Well, if you enjoyed this episode on the Cloudy Creep, please like, and if you're new to this field of crop circles, go ahead and subscribe to see what weirdness the future may have in store. Till then, you can keep up with me on my free blog at patreon.com/justanothertinfoilhat. And for today, I am Zelia Edgar, signing off.
Doing.